Brokey Schmokey Glutton. Glutton. Explosion damage from picking up consumables at maximum HP. Consumables will explode. Yeah. I mean, I guess we have to go for pruners, right? That's a given. Perfect. Perfect. So, this will be very difficult. You want to pick up the fruits right away, more or less, because it can happen that you take damage and then you just heal with the fruits instead of getting the explosion damage, you know. Luck, sure. Pruner, perfect. One more roll. One more roll. That's a reset. Oops. This is one of those characters that are way harder than most other characters, so we have to reset a few times. I mean, with some of these characters I could be wrong and they're actually simple. You know, and I just imagine them to be harder, but I would say I have a very good understanding of the game. And what is easy, what is hard. And most of the times, if you have a character that gives you a downside, for the game, economy-wise, it's usually a very hard character. Because it just means you are way harder off in the game to scale. Which then means you have to take bad level ups that just make you survive. And I think this is one of those characters. Because, well, you have less experience gain, you have less money. So, for example, early on, I can't just afford to buy a cheap item. Scheiße. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, that made up for it. I can't just afford to buy a cheap item. Ooh. Talking about economy. And instead we have to try to just make do with the money that we have, you know. That is actually fun enough. That is really horrible. It's too expensive. Like, the main thing we want is 5 gardens and then 1 explosive weapon, I think. At least, I'm not sure about the 1 explosive weapon yet, and maybe we want to have even 2 of them. But currently my goal is 1 explosive weapon that has a big boom, that just takes care of some of the enemies, that allows me to walk through the enemies. And I don't have more than that planned. That's it. Scheiße. Yeah, it's fine. Ooh. Now, what I would wish for is explosion size. This is really good, by the way. This one I'm not sure about. It's melee damage based, so we actually want to build up melee damage. Oh my god. You just want to mess with me. So the reason the level 2 garden is so bad is early on, right, when you buy them. The blue one costs pretty much twice the amount, but with like minus 5%, okay? So we could have 2 of them that spawn a fruit every 15 seconds. A blue one means you spawn 1 fruit instead of 2 fruits, 1 fruit every 14 seconds. So if you math this out, after 30 seconds, one of them will have 4 fruits, the other one will have 2 fruits. And 4 fruits are obviously a lot better, right? Melee damage. Harvesting. Now that is good. Well, it depends, but it's fine. Good. So, one thing we have to prepare for is the Horde Wave later on. But because we have 1 penguin, and for some reason I can never find more than 1 of them, I want to pick up all of the fruits ASAP, because they give us +1 HP regeneration the moment I pick them up. So that is a lot of healing. Perfect. This is dangerous, but I want the money over the explosion damage. Yeah, that was bad. I should have just walked through. I wanted to make a fancy move to get the money, and instead I just lost HP. But it's fine. Could have been worse. Fruits. Snake is big. That's actually not that bad, but that's for a very specific thing. This will lose us a lot of the fruits, but it will be fine because we get 3 HP, and right now on wave 6 we are just way too low. So one thing you need to know about this character is you will ever get like a ginormous amount of damage, okay? Like your damage is your least problem. Your problem is survivability, because you have to walk through the enemies to explode the fruits, and if you can't do that because you're dying with your HP, you just lost. Like you may notice when I walk through the enemies, we one-shot them, not a big deal, even though right now we're the weakest we'll ever be. Like, this character just explodes, because each fruit is like 1% damage, right? Like, if I would tell you, play any character, and whenever you collect a fruit of which you produce a lot, you get 1% bonus damage, because explosion damage is the equivalent to percent damage for explosion weapons, you'll be like, that's crazy. No, you don't do that. That's way too insane. Well, it's exactly how it works. Perfect. So we have a bunch of landmines. I may have had a bit too many German refresheners, you know, in the heat. So I'm a little bit slow. But my brain works. That's the only thing that matters to win this. However, my words may not work that well. Dex. Why am I so slow? The pruner is not a weapon that makes you slow. What would I have picked up that makes me slow? I think I am just slow. Which is very fitting right now. Funny enough, that is a little bit of a fun fact, I think. When I was younger... Yeah, we do have negative speeds. Yeah, I noticed that, the 1%. That's totally what that means. No, when I was younger... And whenever I had like a little bit too much to drink, I turned into an absolute god in gaming. I don't know why. Like why exactly that happens. But I used to play like a humongous amount of Warcraft 3 custom maps. And in there, especially island defense. And when the Titan, which is like the enemy that wants to kill you... I was a Titan god, by the way, I just want to say that. But when the Titan wanted to kill you, you had to go like to like the center, okay? So the way, okay, let me explain it to you, because I actually love that game still so much. The way it works is you have builders and you have one Titan. The Titan is a Giga Chad, okay? Super strong, ginormous dude. And the builders, their goal is to run off, go into predetermined locations pretty much. Like one of them, they select them. And then you build up your base with walls and towers and workers. You farm wood and you build up your base, okay, to defend against the Titan. Now, one core resource in there is gold. But you can only get gold in the center of the map, where you're exposed to the Titan, you know, that goes around either way and tries to look for you. But in the center, it's especially dangerous, because that is right in the center of the map, so no matter where the Titan is, he will get there really fast. Now, sometimes for the Titan, it's not worth to go to the center, because he's going around trying to find lumber bases. So these are unprotected bases that you build early on, that you don't have to invest a lot of resources in. Because later on you want to build a proper base, right? But like a core part of the game is build up your lumber base, and then you try to get to the center, as the Titan is not there. And you try to farm gold from a gold stone. That has like a short charge up time, and then you get gold every X seconds. And whenever I had a lot to drink, you know, I had like the 6th sense for the Titan coming in. That was just absurd. Like, I knew every single time the Titan went invisible, that was one of his skills. I knew every single time the Titan went invisible and came to the center to kill us. And I just walked away. And that was actually not that great. Like, you would think, oh, that's amazing, right? No, it's not that amazing. Because to other people, that just looked like I was using map hack, which was a very big plague back then. That you could see the entire map. But yeah. Melee damage scales. Trees. You. Dude, I was so cracked at that game. Holy moly. I was, like, there was something called wall walking. I'm not sure if it was called wall walking, because I didn't really talk that much to other people. Even though I was in a clan about that specific game mode. There was, like, a way So, your character is pretty much like, obviously, like, it has a hitbox, right? And if you would place a building on top of you, like in Age of Empires, maybe that is more familiar to some people, how that works. In Age of Empires, if you build on top of your character, like your unit, your builder, you will move the character because the space gets occupied. And it's the same thing there. If you place a building on top of your character will warp to the closest point. But I think it was mostly bottom left. If there was like, you know, if it was the closest to all sides, it's bottom left. And I was a god at this wall walking that you place the right size buildings in the right moment to go to where you want to go. Like if it's too big and you want to place it on top of you, you may teleport yourself back into the Titan, which is obviously not what you want. And that was so much fun. That is insane. I'll take that right away. I could have waited, but I don't care. We'll take you because I need defense. That is amazing. I will banish these two because we want to get more blues, which I totally forgot about. And next round is the toughest round of this map. You may have noticed I didn't care all too much by taking damage, and that's just what I told you earlier. This character has such broken damage. You don't need to be concerned all too much about damage, unless you want to kill elites, which we don't want to because we have 2 horde waves. But the problem is, the more fruits you waste because you farm up material from the enemies, and then it may just happen that you get hit, the less damage you'll have for the elite. So there's a good chance we'll not kill the elite later on. And at this point you already want to have a bunch of production speed for your garden. So when you walk through and you have to heal, you also have fruits that you can just use to kill the enemies. And sadly we never got a second penguin. But yeah, the island defense on Warcraft 3, that was my by far favorite map. I think my number 2 was probably Shango TD. TD, not TD. It was a tower defense game where you have to send units to build up your income, but it's not round-based, it just happens. Oh wow. Like it's just ongoing the entire time. And then you have to build your turrets and you have to survive. You know, humongous amount of fun. Like your towers, not turrets. Here it's called turrets. I'm dead. I didn't get what I wanted. We have like no armor. We have no attack speed. We don't even have a lot of melee damage. But it's fine because, like, do you see the multipliers that we have? We have a humongous amount of melee damage. So our goal is to get percent damage. So our goal is to get melee damage to build this up. But I can't really afford that because I'm building up our HP. And healing over time is honestly horrible on this character. I don't know why I took that. Like, generally speaking, this is one of the worst items you can take. Because when a fruit would usually heal you full, now I still have missing HP, so we don't get explosion damage. And that just means I die. Why did we just have explosions down here? What happened? What kind of effect caused an explosion down here? That was weird. I saw one here. Wait, what am I missing? Who caused an explosion? Oh, I saw that. Who's doing that? Dude, I had too much refreshing drinks. I think there's no way that I see that wrong. Perfect. 10 seconds, okay. I swear I saw explosions though. Okay. I'm not lying to you. I saw explosions. No? Am I just imagining things? Is it that bad? Do I need this much of a break? Okay, so I will lock this guy. Because this is actually so... That's actually nothing. No, never mind. It is a lot of HP, but the percent damage, again, you have to calculate this against our explosion damage, which is 250%. And this is why I said, you don't have to be all too concerned about doing this optimally. Like, just make sure you survive. Imagine a normal wave 20 run where you have 250% damage, right? Like, how powerful would you be? You would be insane. Mental. Completely mental. Like... I would say 80% damage is the most realistic value that you'll get in a run. And 80% is not a lot compared to what we have. We have more than triple the amount at wave 13. 13. So the only thing we are looking for now is an explosion weapon like the nuclear launcher, and then we get a bunch of attack speed, and then we one-shot all of the enemies and stay safe. Because getting rid of one garden while we have 2 bonus gardens for getting an explosion weapon that kills all of the enemies is worth it. That was not worth it though. That was also not worth it. I should get more healing for material. That's okay. Luck. Curse. We don't need that. That's actually really bad in our case. Ooh, no, I need armor. Sorry. You know what? If I curse you, I'll take you. Because we curse nothing so far, we have a high chance to curse. And this is why I also didn't take the spicy sauce earlier. The main reason why I didn't take it is, it was so early that the cost of it is insane, right? Now, if it was later, I would have taken it, but we don't need 2 explosions if 1 explosion kills 95% of the enemies. Now, at this point, I would actually really like to have another explosion for the strong cursed enemies, you know. But again, I wouldn't have bought it earlier. It's just way too expensive. I'm using our explosion mainly as a way to get a lot of money, and not as a way to build up explosion damage because it's way too high. As in, there's no too high. But it's so high, we don't need more. But I have to look for a good explosion weapon. Because if I don't do that, the strategy kind of falls apart. Any questions? 1 HP. Let's roll. Perfect. You didn't get... Yeah, I'm not gonna finish that sentence. Like, either you know what I wanted to say or you don't. It's that simple. Oh. That's like such a strong guy and just boom. Boom. You survived. That is impressive. Wow. There's a spawner guy. Now that one is very tanky, so we have to use 3 explosions. Oh, that guy is very tanky. 2 explosions. Now obviously for an elite this is not enough, right? So we need a lot more for an elite. Like, we may need to do something very difficult, like standing next to 2 gardens. If you don't understand that that was sarcasm, then I don't know what to tell you. But an elite usually has, like, I think 12,000 HP at 17. I could be wrong with that value. But we need 30 fruits to kill an elite. Which is actually nothing. Like, we fought that out in a couple of seconds. If I stay next to that, perfect. That is what I wanted. Sure. I need melee damage. That is actually so low, I'll take that. And the reason I wanted to have the black flag, even though it's so late, we have a very high curse chance. Now, if it doesn't work out, I gotta debate whether I want to take it or not, because we are past the hot wave, right? So, the value of it is very low. How much damage do we deal now? 500. I would say I want to get to... See, honestly, I would have said 400, you know? I feel like I did such a poor job to collect all of the fruits at full HP. But, like, I'm already at my limit. Like, I don't need more. The final boss fight, they have 30,000, like 33,000 HP. Let's just say 30k, right? Because we also attack with our weapon. And it's, like, I want to calculate explosions. Let's say 30k. So I need 75 fruits over 90 seconds. It's really easy to do that. No level up, okay. Should have banished that. Beautiful. That is a lot of damage. Okay. Let's see if my feeling is right or wrong. Like, it could also be I'm just entirely wrong and we can't kill this guy ever. So in the beginning, we don't need to use anything because we're just waiting for our fruits to accumulate and also to heal me. I may need a little bit of movement speed though, I'm noticing. And now it's time that we walk over the fruits and explode. And keep in mind, we don't actually have a lot of damage with our main weapon, so our entire damage is pretty much coming from the explosions. Any questions? Like, do you understand how lazy this entire run was? Like, how bad? I would never upload this to my main channel because I would be like, I'm wasting so many stats. I don't want that. I want to optimize this and then just one-shot the final boss or something. We don't need that. Like, this is how broken the character actually is. Oh, I wanted to kill the big guy. Nah. Sure. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I need some defense. Melee damage, perfect. More explosion damage. You got actually cursed. How do we do this? Scheiße, that's exactly what I didn't want. Or you just want to mess with me. That's actually good. I hope we find a common one that I can combine it up quickly. And that's why I sold the red one, that we have a spot for that. It just didn't work out at all. I need a little bit more of the fruit healing. Like, how much do we have right now? 15, okay. I would say 20 and I'm safe. Or you wanna mess with me? Wait, I wanted to look for an explosion weapon. No, honestly, I completely forgot about that. There could have been an explosion weapon in the shop. I just forgot about it. Like, completely. Like, if the moment you go away with this character from... Oh, I need to stay at full HP and pick up the fruits then to get explosion damage too. I'm using the explosions to earn money. This is when you play the character for real. Perfect. 5 seconds. Yeah, okay. I think that's actually normal. I'm just expecting the cursed values, but I think that that one is actually normal. If you get cursed, I'll take you. Wait. Were those 8 stats? Yeah, okay. It just looked like 6 stats. But you know, vision is right now not my strength. I'm more like vibing. I'm vibing in Brotato. You know, there's like a completely different scenario, but it's like, imagine you had 5 beers in 2 hours. A little bit less. And you're just having fun, you know. Like, imagine that. Like, I'm not saying that was the case, because as I said, we had like a warm weather refreshment shoes. Careful. So that's a whole different story. But yeah. This wave is a really tough wave for us, by the way. This is also a hot wave. And I think this shows how dangerous the hot waves are sometimes. But we got a lot of money. Perfect. 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 I don't expect all too much out of the final item, so I'm just buying whatever I see. Okay, 2 armor, good. Well, bossy, follow me. Into the graveyard of the fruits. And when I say graveyard, I mean graveyard for the bosses. No, why are you walking away? No, come back. Come back, bossy. Not the other one. You stay alive. You're always the last one that we take on. I need to take on this guy first. Okay? Scheiße, you just died. Man, you messed up everything. Man. Yeah, this doesn't count, right? We have to reset. That's so stupid. It's so overpowered. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe. See you the next time. Bye-bye.